946. Oh, what the fuck? I got scared. Oh my fucking god, I thought I saw a face in the corner of my eye. I can't do this shit at night. This is definitely a first for me. I've never made a video like this before, but honestly the creepypasta just stuck out to me, so I decided I'd dive in and document it from the very beginning with the first video of the Sonic tapes, which dates back to July 15th, 2023. I got the idea to even make this video because 1, these videos are pretty popular, and 2, I have never seen these before, and well, Sonic creepypastas aren't so common anymore. I'll just be referring to this series by Shin Sonic since it's easier for me to say, and before we all watch all 6 of these videos, make sure you like and subscribe so big YouTube can recognize me. I need $1 billion to pay off my gambling debt so I can continue betting on black. I'll also link the creator's channel in the description since all footage is his. Without any further delay, these are the Sonic tapes, and let's begin. I made the mistake of watching this one at night, so I was actually a little scared watching this. Never again. The first video is called House Footage, and the description tells us this is in fact a re-upload, since it must have been deleted the first time around by YouTube, but we'll move on. The beginning of the video shows us Sonic standing next to a pile of mush on the floor that's what's left of Dr. Eggman, before an emergency alert goes off telling people that there's a threat in the area people must watch out for. We get to see security cams outside a house, the entrance, and the stairs. After cycling through them all, we see Big Boy Sonic standing outside near a tree. And holy shit, he's tall. He makes it inside the house after a crashing noise is heard, staring at the camera, and in a flash we hear him run off, and then see him standing on the stairs, and honestly this part is actually scary, because if you see this shit in real life, you're pissing yourself. Look how tall he is. Sonic makes it into the bedroom poking in as if he's about to tell you he threw up, and then eats the guy like he's eating messy spaghetti. That's the first video on the Shin Sonic creepypasta, and for a beginning, it's not too bad, and it took him a while to make another on the series because there's quite a gap between this one and the next being several months, experimenting with other video ideas. Now we're on to the second video, which is surprisingly just titled Sonic the Hedgehog the Animation, but with that familiar smile we know all too well. So the second video he made on it really isn't that scary, and it feels more like a parody animation than anything, since that's what the channel was branching out to at the time. The ending sort of goes back to that initial theme of horror, cause goddamn Eggman has seen better days. There's not much to add here for lore or story, but it's at least well animated. Video 3 of the series is titled Two-Tailed Fox, and we're back to the initial horror of the original Shin Sonic, and he's expanding the lore a bit more now. First and foremost, Tails got by Sonic, but he didn't die like the other victims, but converted to be like Sonic as well, fetching bodies for him to eat. We get a lot more text on screen that reports more information about how over 946 people have been kidnapped from their own homes, and the government refuses to acknowledge this situation. We get to see Tails and Sonic, and they've certainly seen better days. The very end of the video we see a sort of evolutionary timeline for Sonic as he grows more and more, with the very last one being hidden and out of sight, but having a singular hand bigger than the first 3 versions of himself. All in all, I really like the ending for this video, specifically because I'm a sucker for small cliffhangers like this, hinting that the monster we're dealing with is gonna grow bigger and more deformed, and we're certainly gonna see a lot more of that soon. Video 4 is titled Cry of the Forest, and this time we get a sort of lost footage telling of events from the body cam of a cop. Being a body cam, we already know that the cop has no chance of survival, especially so when Shin Sonic gets a good glimpse of the man. He's grown quite a lot since the last time we saw him. After running away, he spots a bunch of the deformed tails staring at him. And as for why there's multiple tails, your guess is as good as mine. For now, let's just say Shin Sonic is converting other fox wildlife to move on from that point. After running away again, the cop finds an odd statue of a human body with a deformed bull head with writing in the center, and genuinely I have no idea what language that is. It looks like fucking Minecraft enchantment table language. He gets only one good look before staring up and being in the face of the beast himself. The report continues stating that the cop's corpse was placed on the statue and had 0 organs inside of it, likely eaten, but was decaying quickly, rotting away as if, and I quote, as if it was turning into nothing. As for why that happened, I wouldn't know, so take your guess on why. The next time they returned to the statue on the same day, it had disappeared entirely. My guess is that it might have been a warning of some sort. The video finally ends with Shin Sonic reaching his next evolution. That was a pretty fucking weird video, huh? After reading the comments, apparently the text on his chest of the statue translates to King, from Hebrew. I'm not exactly in the know of what other kind of symbolism is being made, if there is religious symbolism in play, but whatever it is, it's only going to get worse from here on. Video 5, A Dreadful Vision, and the most popular video of his at the time of recording. This is where shit goes down and the story becomes good, actually. We start with Knuckles running in Green Hill Zone, wondering where all the life is, and is visibly shaken from the sight of a dead animal inside of one of Eggman's robots. Let's take a moment to appreciate that for this video, he actually went through the trouble of pixel animating the whole thing, because as we will see more later, sad Knuckles in this shot is really well made. Running further, he sees Tails and questions him on the situation, and Tails transforms into several different mutated versions of himself, and Shin Sonic appears behind him, visibly transforming in front of him as well. He runs and runs, and Sonic is constantly evolving when chasing him until... In an odd twist, Knuckles wasn't eaten or killed or anything of the sort, but instead is chained down face to face with a gigantic monster. Asking several questions, Shin Sonic decides to answer him with brief odd flashes that don't make any sense to us at all. When the flashes stop, a bright light speaks to Knuckles, telling him to seek out the Super Emeralds and to not let the monster get the Chaos Emeralds or the world is over. We see through Knuckles' eyes that the monster that is Shin Sonic has grown even larger, towering over mountains, and is likely summoning thousands of different versions of Tails from his body, mouth open as if he's laughing. The video ends with Knuckles having the resolve to fight and to seek out the Super Emeralds before Shin Sonic destroys the world. There's a lot to cover with this one, but firstly, this is a turn that I'm actually enjoying a lot, because with other video game creepypastas, this one is actually giving a proper story, and isn't just giving bloody, gory deaths to all your fan favorite characters for the sake of being dark and edgy. So in other words, yes, this is miles better than Sonic.exe. Get that shit in the trash where it belongs. In the beginning of when Shin Sonic shows Knuckles everything, the very beginning of it starts with bacteria before showing off all the other imagery, and after reading a lot of the comments, a general idea is that Sonic here was a victim of some kind of parasite that's mutated him to this extent, and as for who was speaking to him during the flash of light, telling him to get the Super Emeralds, so far the only answer that the comments seem to allude to is God himself, or perhaps Big the Cat with a flashlight. Lastly, when we see Shin Sonic through Knuckles' eyes at the very end, it looks like he's doing some kind of dance, especially with the ritualistic singing playing as well. But this is more of a guess than anything, since I have no real understanding of the religious symbolism in these videos. Finally, we reached the final video so far. Chaos. The video begins with Knuckles entering a place called Palm Tree Panic. A Sonic level, I assume, since I never actively played the games. The reports are now being made by Gun, as it becomes apparent due to his massive increase in size. Sonic has become known to the public, and yet despite his overwhelming size, his speed hasn't slowed down one bit. Imagine the biggest building you've ever seen moving faster than sound. That's the equivalent of what Shin Sonic has become. Every time he moves, he creates massive damage. Shin Sonic walked into the middle of a city uninterested in anything until he started screeching. There are silhouettes of several different tails scattering across the city until one of them grabs the person recording the event. We see as something small but glowing approaches his mouth, and after consuming it, he disappears entirely. Shin Sonic had eaten a Chaos Emerald, and upon consuming it, he likely teleported out of the area. The report concludes with the information that Knuckles must go back in time to get the Super Emeralds, and that Gun needs to prioritize on preventing Shin Sonic from getting any more Chaos Emeralds. We finished the video with Knuckles going back to the past, and that is where the series is at currently. This specific video by Evan Nimas however the fuck you pronounce it, well, I'll just refer to as Evan for the rest of the video, was one that had people waiting to finally get a good look at all the teasing of that final form of Sonic that we got to see. The sound effects throughout the video as well couldn't have been better, especially the big screeching Sonic had, because that's some seriously good demonic ass screams. So after watching this, and it being 2 months since it's uploaded, I decided to check his Twitter and see if there were any kind of updates on the next video, to see when it would be uploaded. Lo and behold, just a few days ago he tweeted a picture updating us on the situation, informing us that this video will primarily be frame by frame animation. So what I can assume is that he's drawing a fight between Knuckles and Shin Sonic. So I think it'll be a long while before it sees the light of day. Lastly, we need to discuss the true horror of Shin Sonic: the content farming. I didn't realize this until I had searched Shin Sonic and scrolled down just a little further, but kids channels have been absolutely milking this thing dry like it's FNAF all over again. A lot of this shit is pretty fucking horrid too. So imagining your kid or a friend's kid watching Shin Sonic's sad little origin story. A lot of these are really bad and just milking the idea behind it as much as possible before jumping to the next trend. It's not even surprising that the idea of Shin Sonic became so popular, because kids constantly swarm towards some form of horror content, like Five Nights at Freddy's back when the game series was so popular. And these channels just take the horror aspect and reduce it to just slop kid content, and the kids will eat it up because of the characters still being there. Another reason why people would swarm to the idea is that people, and mainly kids, like huge monsters. It's no secret that the bigger and badder you make something, you'll cause people who are interested in that giant design to give it tons of attention. It's gotten so bad to the point where the creator himself, Evan, even made a tweet about how horrible it gets. Honestly, I feel bad for the guy, because he made something he really liked, gave it a good story, and perfected it more and more as he went on, and now predatory kids channels take his idea and mold it into something cringy and weird just to please the kids.
Hey guys, can I run with you? Yeah!
With that being said, I do strongly suggest you watch these videos yourself, because they're very well made, and you're better off supporting the original creator and making your own conclusions on the story so far, because I'm far from perfect when it comes to dissecting these things in fine details. And that's all I've got to say for today. Leave a like and comment down below if you even made it this far into the video, and let me know what you think of this series or even this form of content. I'm constantly experimenting with these videos myself and would enjoy your feedback, so please do so. And that's all. See ya.